All right, man, Church Talk. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, man, good morning, good morning. Continuing our coverage of the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl. And I came across this interview that this woman is having with I don't want to say, I'm just going to say, it's a pretty good interview, and I thought that y'all might like it. So let's get to it, because she said some things that, I think that I want to speak on. Before I get into that, I got to get my spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones that's just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. They call me the Hidden Gem. 1,300 subscribers, over 13,000. And yes, I am the King of the North. Let me know what kingdom you from. Also, too, March 23rd will be the very first live on this page. I'll be battling some dude named J Dev. If you like into battle rap, you can see a live battle for free right on this page. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be lit. So it's going to be interesting. So make sure y'all stay tuned. All right, man. So let's get to it, man. Let's do it. All right, so let's get it, man. Let's go.
Going into Super Bowl Sunday, CJ, I, as an Eagles fan since Thursday, so it wasn't deep within my core, was probably most excited for the halftime show and to see what Kendrick Lamar was going to come out with at the Super Bowl halftime show. And I was so happy with what I saw. Now, I want to preface this. If you don't want subtext in your Super Bowl halftime show, if you don't want to have to think for your Super Bowl halftime show, maybe it wasn't the Super Bowl halftime show for you. But for me...
All right, so I understand exactly what she's saying, and I agree with that. I also think that a lot of people came there to be entertained, and once they see a black face, let's be clear here, and I ain't calling y'all racist for saying this. I'm just saying, once you see a black face, you get prepared, especially a black male artist. You get prepared for something that you probably ain't gonna like, or you probably don't know. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. That's just what it is. It's like when if I'm at a show where it is predominantly black and the white artists come up, I'm most likely going to have a look on my face like, oh, who's this guy trying to sing soul or whatever? You know what I'm saying? So I understand exactly what she's saying with that. Well, she ain't saying that. I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, well, she is saying did subtext and so
I thought it was one of the most brilliant performances of all time when you go into the collective. And it's one of those Super Bowl halftime shows that if you go back and watch it once, twice, three times, like you're picking up new things every time. For some people, they don't want to do that. They just want to be entertained. They want the razzmatazz of traditional Super Bowl halftime. Give them Left Shark and they will be of the most happy.
That's 100% facts. That is 100% facts. That's all they care about is just being entertained. That's it. They don't want to think. There's no way in the world that this guy, who's a black artist, who is the biggest hip hop artist in the world, there's no way in the world he could come up here and do something that I'm probably going to appreciate or like. It's crazy. That's crazy.
Shark, never forget. For me, the mix of, oh my God, Kendrick Lamar is actually going to throw additional dirt on the grave of Drake on the Super Bowl stage, mixed with Kendrick Lamar is one of the most impressive artists existing currently. He's a Pulitzer Prize winner. If you don't want subtext in your Super Bowl halftime show, maybe don't have a Pulitzer Prize winner come and do it. And
I agree. And you know the crazy thing is, Kendrick Lamar has been announced to be at Kendrick Lamar has been announced to be at the Super Bowl for months. And for all of y'all who are complaining about not understanding, that's your fault. Because if I was so entertained or into the Super Bowl halftime show as if some of y'all say y'all are, if they said that, I don't know, Muse, right? If said Muse was coming to the Super Bowl, I would have probably went, and if I'm invested into the Super Bowl halftime show, I would have went and looked up their catalog. That's what I would have did. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of y'all mindlessly listen to things, or y'all want to just things that just be normal the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants nothing to divert this way or divert that way. It has to be exactly what you want. It could have came and played Baby Shark, do-do-do, and y'all would have loved it. Craziness.
Obviously, the people who booked it had no issue with that, and that would be the expectation with Kendrick Lamar. But what I loved was all the over attention is on Not Like Us. Is he actually going to sing Not Like Us at the Super Bowl halftime show? Is he actually going to get up on that stage and say, Drake likes him young? And he did. And we found out he was going to do it. Like, it had been leaked that that song was on the set list. And you get the cheekiness of it. You get the little smirk as he says, say Drake. He goes into it by, I want to play.
Yeah, that was crazy. That right there. That was like that right there, bro. This right here, bro. This right here is like big as the what? Big as the Super Bowl, bro. That right there is like, okay, you know I beat you, bro. There's nothing you can do to me now, bro. I don't care if you come out with 10 albums after this. I beat you. I won. There's nothing you can do, bro. That right there, say Drake, like, and look into the camera and smile. Oh my God, bro, that has to be the worst thing ever. I'm telling you, that's like a dagger to Drake's heart and him twisting it. It's a dagger, but him twisting it and then trying to pull it up out of his head, bro. Oh my God, bro, this is crazy. Crazy work, bro.
Your favorite song, but you know they love to sue. There's this will he, won't he element to the performance in its totality. And that look from him is just everything. Like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna do it in this moment. He has the chain with the lowercase a, which if you study music, a lowercase a would mean A minor. So shout out to the A minor. He brings.
Oh my God, bro. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God, bro. I knew that, but just her saying it is crazy.
And Serena Williams, that's his special guest. What was your response when you saw Serena Williams pop up in the middle of the halftime show with the Crip Walk?
I was like, it's Serena.
She's one of the greatest of all times.
It's like, yeah, it makes sense. Here
It's
goes
Drake's ex.
I didn't, I think we've lost the plot on Not Like Us. And so I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
I'm out. So Serena pops up. It's like, Serena makes sense, Not Like Us.
I mean, how do we lose the plot on Not Like Us? What are you talking about? Like, how do we lose the plot on that? I'm confused. Maybe he's saying something that's going over my head. I don't understand what he's talking about. We lost the plot on Not Like Us, but then Serena comes and says, oh, like, I don't know. Let's see what else he says.
It's okay, I got it. And I'm trying to figure out what the hell Drake said to make Serena mad. But again, this is lost in the Drake-ness of it all. Like, Not Like Us is a particularly Compton
Right.
anthem. Right? Like, that's what it is. That music video is littered with Compton superstars. And Serena Williams is a Compton superstar. Sure, she's a legend in the game of tennis, and it's amazing to me. I left that performance thinking, oh my gosh, how does one city, part of a city, like how does one little thing give us so many true legends?
Now, I'll answer his question. The reason why Serena has such a disdain for Drake is because they dated. It was an issue, I believe, her and Common, and then she dated her husband, who's her husband now. She married him, and Drake called her husband a groupie. You know what I'm saying? So he still was talking crazy and reckless years after they stopped dealing with each other, and that's the reason why she's crip walking. She did that at the, I believe at ESPYs award, one of them award shows. She did that. She crip walked when Kendrick won the award or something like that. She did something. You know what I'm saying?
How I left that part of the Super Bowl halftime performance. She pops up. It's like, Serena, crip walking, makes sense. Drake, like, bow out as gracefully as you can, which I think he has.
He has.
He's like, I don't want any more with Kendrick, but you record label, let me go get you.
Nah.
It's loaded in
Nah. He ain't bow out against Kendrick. When you go after the record label over a diss song, saying that this song is defaming me, I don't care what nobody says. He could say he's going after the record label, but he can't directly go after Kendrick because it looks stupid. So he's going after the record label. But what's going to happen is when they go to court, they're going to ask them, well, how come you ain't sue the artist who did this to you? Why you not suing them? Oh, because they promoted it. Well, he was the one that said it. He was the one that wrote it. You're going after the guy who promoting you, who you said egregious things as well. How you going after them, but not going after the guy who actually said it? He can't do it because everybody around him, I'm telling you, a good portion of those dudes that are around him are like, nah, Drake, you can't sue Kendrick directly, bro. Because your career would be over if you did that. You can't do that, bro. You got to go after the record label. Don't go after him. I don't care. But I'm thinking he's going to drop the suit. That's my opinion. He's going to drop the suit. That's what I'm thinking. Sooner or later.
Context, and he's doing it all in the flared jeans. Big moment for flared jeans. As a fellow short queen who once upon a time wore a lot of flared jeans that were too long for my little legs, I felt that moment for Kendrick last night. But I think you bring up a good point in the oversaturation of Not Like Us. It's been everywhere, and everyone eats it up. But at some point you're watching that halftime show and you're like, okay, I came for Drake, but I'm here for Kendrick Lamar declaring this is the revolution. And my mom is older, not particularly familiar with the Drake-Kendrick beef, and she was like, I'm a little confused about everything. I'm like, do you want to watch the show?
Yeah, I don't expect everybody to understand what's going on, but I do believe when you explain it to your family, especially your mom and them, they wouldn't understand. But Drake and Kendrick is the biggest artist in the world right now, and them going back and forth with each other. Let's just say outside of Taylor Swift, The Weeknd, Beyonce, it would be Drake, Kendrick. That's how it would go. Like, and for me, a lot of people don't understand that the subliminal war that these guys been having for years and years and years and years and years, and now it has came to a head. And again, the storyline between the two would be a fascinating movie if someone was to make it. If somebody was to make this movie, it would be crazy. I'm trying to tell you, it would be crazy.
Have you not stayed tapped in with everything that happens? But I was trying to explain who Kendrick Lamar is to my mom, and the comparison that I ended up going to is he's kind of like our James Baldwin. Like, there is so much more to Kendrick than just being a rap hip hop artist. Like, the commentary that he was making on this country through that performance, and it did strike me how everybody just was clamoring for, I can't wait for Not Like Us, I can't wait for Not Like Us, and he's like flirting with, am I gonna give it to him, am I gonna give it to him? But mixed in all of that is the presentation from having Samuel L. Jackson there as Uncle Sam to Kendrick at the very beginning laying out the thesis of and the fact that we're talking about a thesis of a halftime show. I get why that makes some people tune out, but the thesis was the revolution will be televised, and it's a flip on the old 70s Gil Scott-Heron, the revolution will not be televised. Kendrick flips that on its head, and it's kind of like a rallying of the community, and you have the divided pieces of the American flag coming together, and it's all black performers, and you're seeing this massive emphasis on black culture and black performances, and that's what Kendrick Lamar is. And then you bring in SZA, and the Uncle Sam character comes out of the SZA part, and like, yes, that's the palatable version, mixed with him calling the other version.
And that's what I'm saying. A lot of y'all want to do all of these deep dives when it comes to everything else. But when it comes to black culture, nobody wants to do a deep dive. Nobody wants to learn now. You don't want to know what anything means, because I'll be honest with y'all, because the reason why y'all don't want to learn a lot of stuff everything means is because it might hurt your feelings. You might disagree with it. You know what I'm saying? Or it might lead you back to, well, just get over it. That's what it might lead you back to. So a lot of y'all don't want to learn about it. Y'all don't want to learn about it. I see a lot of people, I follow a lot of these channels, and I see a lot of y'all, I be like saying to myself, y'all just don't want to learn about it. Just say that. Just say that instead of saying something else. Just say, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But if you say that, then it looks like, oh, you're being racist. And I'm not saying you're racist for it. I'm just saying, like, if you're not going to learn about something, then maybe you should just be quiet about it. That's all I'm saying.
Like, too loud, too reckless, too word that I never feel comfortable saying.
You don't feel comfortable saying ghetto?
No.
Okay.
Again, because that's what people...
Because it's coded.
It's so coded. And Samuel L. Jackson in the personification of America saying that word feels like a slur, really.
Would you feel comfortable if he had replaced it with urban?
No, that makes me uncomfortable too.
You could have done ghetto in that instance with Uncle Sam.
Again, I think what she's saying, if that's how she feels, I can't knock her for that. But I understand exactly what she's saying. But that wasn't the point of it. The point of it was, well, it's not about what she's saying. What she's saying, she feels uncomfortable saying that. I know that that's not the point. The point saying she just don't feel comfortable saying it. It doesn't really go anywhere after that. She just saying she don't feel comfortable saying it. But the point was when he was saying it was too ghetto, I believe that was at the Man at the Garden or whatever. He was saying that's too ghetto. Basically saying like all these people in the crowd, they not trying to hear that. The only thing they trying to hear is not like us because they like war. They like beefing. They like making somebody look bad. That's the entertainment to them. That's what they want to see. You know what I'm saying? But what they don't understand is not like us basically is a shout out to America in so many words. Because he's battling a Canadian saying they not like us. He literally says that in the verse in one of his songs about you came to America, run to America when you need a check balance, or you run to Atlanta. But he said it in Euphoria. He said, they can't imitate this violence. You know what I'm saying? Like, he basically been saying this. So when people say stuff like, oh, I don't understand it, or I don't like it, or that, he's shouting you out in so many words. He's shouting you out. But again, people don't want to learn nothing. They just want to just say something's bad and move on from it. And then when someone says, well, did you learn this? Or like, you know how rap used to be back in the day. I don't go on this whole tangent, but rapping back in the day used to be, a lot of us loved lyricism, right? We loved to break stuff down. We loved that. We loved lyricism. But then after a while, people got bored of that, right? Because they got, no, I don't want to feel like, so they ushered in rappers who were the real rappers, and they start coming in, and they wasn't really giving you, they was just giving you straightforward stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then once the lyrics try to go back, people say, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Because they don't want it. And then 10 years down the line, you listen to a song, you like, oh, that's what he was talking about. I never knew, and I'll be honest with y'all. When I was younger, when Nori said, run laps around the English Channel, I never knew what that was. I was like, what is he talking about? Because he used to always say a lot of airhead stuff. So in my opinion, he used to say a lot of airhead stuff back in the day. So when he said run laps around the English Channel, I literally thought he was talking about a TV, like turning the TV, like the English Channel. Like I didn't know that he was actually talking about a real place. That's what I mean. Like, so you discover things later on. And that's exactly what most people that seen that Super Bowl performance, once all the things come out, not to say everybody's going to change their mind about it, but people are going to say, oh, okay, I see what he meant by that.
Has done is say, hey, you're too urban, too ghetto, too black,
Too
like,
too hood.
Too hood.
Would fit in there.
Too inwardish.
Sure.
Right? Like that's
all
what you...
All of those are perceived euphemisms
those are all
for
for that thing right there, right? So we can't say, man, sure wish you...
Yeah.
mass banded animals would stop behaving like N-words, but you can say, hey, you're being too urban. And bow, that's what we're talking about, and we know we're talking about.
She will get so much black backlash if she said that somebody's being too urban. Yeah, she'll get tore up. She couldn't say that, and I know that's probably not what he's saying. I'm just saying you can't say that, and she definitely can't say you're being too ghetto. Well, maybe she might be able to get away with ghetto. You know what I'm saying? You acting ghetto as hell. Like I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not.
That thing there.
Even like him saying,
But you see, this is the dynamic that I'm talking about that we need, right? You got a black man speaking to a white woman. This is what we need. We need this type of dialogue because there's certain things that black people, even to today, even to this day, it's things that we don't understand about white people. And it's things that black people don't understand about white people and white people don't understand about black people. And I think maybe, I don't know how long they've been doing this show together, but this is probably a pretty good show because she's not walking on eggshells, but she's basically saying she's being respectable about certain things. And I'm sure he does the same thing with her. And this is what I'm saying. We need more dialogue like this, where we talk to each other about certain things. Because to be truth be told, whether we want to put people in, compartmentalize people and put people over here, people over here, people over here, people over here, what we need is we need unity. And when I mean by unity, I don't mean we have to all like each other about stuff or we have to agree on everything. No, we definitely need to be together because guess what? A family is together, but even though they disagree on certain things, they're still together. And we got to learn how to disagree, agree to disagree. That's it. We got to learn how to accept no too. A lot of us don't know, understand the word no. We don't understand how to accept that.
like, Mr. Lamar, do you really know how to play the game? Tighten up. And this push-pull of what is acceptable, what is, again, I come back to the word like palatable for white people to consume, and talking about the culture and the use of culture, and white people take from black culture all the time. I just thought there's so much wrapped into that performance, and as a true nerd, I talk about it regularly, like, it does feel like a piece of literature that I look forward to going back and examining over and over and over again to find all of the different specific, because everything is specific with Kendrick Lamar. Every lyric change, the 40 acres and a mule, this is bigger than the music.
Yeah, I definitely understand that.
Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence. A part of that is a dig at Drake, and a part of that is a dig at the world. Like, at some point, you're talking about Drake as a culture vulture and as a colonizer, and then it turns into a, wait, is this song about us? Like, is this just America?
And
I mean, I understand that, but at the same time, you could look at it from two different ways. You could look at it from him giving you a history lesson on what he believes America is or was, or a stereotypical America. That's what Samuel Jackson was basically playing, like showing him like you need to be like this, and he was basically going out of bounds with it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I think a lot of people got to understand Kendrick Lamar is American. And whether it's Black American to white American, he's still American. And I think when you say, when a lot of people who look at this Super Bowl performance, and this goes for white and black people, when you try to downplay it or shit on it or do anything to it, to me, you're disrespecting the culture of America. That's how I look at it. If you're downplaying what Kendrick Lamar is doing, you're disrespecting the culture of America, because black culture is a part of the culture of America. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Whether we like it or not, it is. You just got to admit it. If you're downplaying it and you're saying, oh, you could say you don't like something, I get it. But if you're actively trying to demonize it and make it seem like this guy is the worst ever and all this stuff, yeah, I don't agree with that. I just don't.
That's the brilliance.
That is where we've lost it. That's where we've lost. And lost it would imply that we as a collective had it to begin with. And we as a collective did not have it to begin with. Drake is the personification of the pillaging of black culture, right? Like he is.
I mean, that's a very strong word to use Drake as personification of pillaging the black culture. I don't know if I totally agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Now, I will say that Drake definitely did walk into the house of hip hop. But I will say the reason why I disagree with the pillaging part is because people people like Drake. It wasn't like he took it. They kind of gave it to him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not blaming Drake fully, and I'm not disrespecting it, everybody saying that, but I am saying that a lot of y'all did give Drake this title. Some of y'all gave him the title, and y'all still is giving him the title. So I can't say that he definitely did what he's saying he did. I don't agree with that 100%. I would say that he was a part of it, but to say that he was like, the way he put it is like he was like one of the major contributors to it. I don't agree with that at all.
The face of it right now because of the beef. But listen to what Kendrick says and then think to yourself, hey, how many times has an artist or an entertainer ran to Atlanta or Compton or Houston or Memphis or New Orleans, right? Ran to these predominantly black parts of our country for some sort of credibility, for some sort of validation that, hey, no, look at me, I'm cool. I kick it with, I'm just using this as an example. I'm cool. I wear Jordans. I kick it with Juicy J. I know how to twerk a little bit. Look at me. Pay me attention, right? Like that's just one of many types of examples in what.
And I understand exactly what he's saying, but I will say that the reason why Drake can get away with it, and I don't agree with it, but the reason why is because he's half black. You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of people give him a pass because of that. Me personally, I don't. I don't give Drake a pass for that at all. You know what I'm saying? I do believe that certain things that Kendrick said is correct about him being a colonizer because he was raised by a Jewish woman. The reason why I say it's different for Drake than it's different for J. Cole, because J. Cole, to me, he lived a different type of lifestyle from Drake living. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Ends up happening sometimes, I would say most times, that person uses that culture for a little bit, uses this part of the culture for a little bit, and then says, all right, I'm done with that. I'm gonna grow my hair back out and I'm gonna go back to being a bluegrass country pop star. I'm going back to my pop princess roots, right? Like that's what ends up happening, and that can be frustrating because, hey, cool, you're able to pick and choose what parts of this black culture you wanna be a part of. Great. What about the rest of it? And what about the rest of us? You know, that's why Not Like Us is for Compton. Why it.
And I agree with him saying that. I 100% agree. I also think that the reason why Kendrick hit Drake so hard is because Drake has never did anything to uplift the black culture. Not one thing. He's never did a song to actually come out and uplift the black culture. You know what I'm saying? Never. He never. And if he did, he didn't put it at the forefront. And that's what makes it different. So when you said you trying to rap like you trying to get the slaves free, that was, to me, that was the downfall right there. And I said that, and I said, bro, he should have never said that. That's gonna really injure him. And he did, and that's what happened. He got smoked for it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got you. Oh, rapping like I'm trying to get the slaves freed. Oh, okay. All right, okay, I got you. Now I'm gonna really turn it up on you. Don't forget the PDF thing. The colonizer thing, too. That's another death blow. You know what I'm saying? So he's lucky that he didn't play that part. Because that whole colonizer part would have went with the Super Bowl. But I don't think he was making this about Drake. I think it was making it mostly about himself in America. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you now, him standing in front of the American flag, basically, that was a dig to Drake. Say, I'm American. This is where I'm at. This is why I stand. Standing in the middle of the flag and that photo op, yeah, that right there was 100% a shot at Drake. 100%. 100% a shot at Drake. 100%.
Matters so much more than just the Drake piece of it. Because the answer to that question, hey, you're taking from us, what about us? Who's gonna pull us up? Who's gonna uplift us? Compton is gonna uplift you, my child. Because we've got all of the Compton superstars in the music video. This dude, DeMar DeRozan, good friends with Drake. I called him up and said, come hop in the video, dissing Drake. Here he is, uplifting me. And I, as Kendrick Lamar, will uplift you all as well, Compton.
Yeah.
And in doing so, I would be sort of serve as a beacon, as a light to uplift black people around the country. If that's how deep you want to dive into it.
And then the hunger of white people to hear that song. I mean, you go into
White,
any
it
bar.
wasn't white people. It's all people to hear that.
Of course, all
Yeah.
people. But then there's like the added nature of like, this is the big number that they want me to do, right?
I mean, I will say this. If you look at the crowd, people say, oh, people wasn't moving in the crowd. Like, some of the songs ain't for them to move to. Did you ever think of that? Like, and a lot of those people that was in the crowd, they probably didn't know the songs. Let's be honest. They didn't know the songs. Like, a lot of people wasn't even in tune. But it's just the opportunity for someone like Kendrick to have is phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? And I think Jay-Z did a perfect job. I think he did a perfect job. No matter what Jay-Z would have put up there, he could have put anybody up there. Y'all would have had a problem with it. It's halftime show is trash. It's just trash. Y'all would have had a problem with it.
This is the hit. This is the greatest hit. And then everything that comes around that hit. It's just so interesting. I really appreciated Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. If you didn't come in with any knowledge of Kendrick Lamar, I don't know if you enjoyed it. Like, if you didn't know the Drake beef, you don't get that piece of it. If you don't know his discography, you don't get that piece of it. I did love him and SZA doing Luther, which feels like a commentary in of itself, into all the stars, and SZA looked stunning. And yeah, I had a great time. It was exactly what I hoped for. I had hoped for there to be some sort of messaging. He is Kendrick Lamar. The president was at the Super Bowl for the first time in the history of ever. And Chris had to put me down all day. He was like, don't get your horn, don't get
All right. Yeah, that was fascinating to see somebody of a different ethnicity talk about our culture. I know there's a lot of people who do it. And yeah, I think that was pretty interesting. I agree with a lot of her takes on there. I agree with some of his takes too. I think some of his takes though was pretty interesting. But yeah, man, I think that the more you go back and watch it, the more you're going to catch. And there's going to be a lot of breakdowns about this. Kendrick Lamar knew exactly what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? He didn't necessarily do this for the people in the crowd. He did this for the people at home. He did this for the people who couldn't be there. That's what he did this for. So thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all, man. 12 o'clock show coming up. All right, I'll see y'all. Peace. Bye.